Hey there, this is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me, as always, is Will Power. Tony Snap is not here today, or Gabe is not here to fill in for anybody. Javi's not here either. So it's just me and you, Will, today, man. How's it going out there in Philly, dude?
Oh, it's good, man. Today was a pretty good day. It was my first day back. I've been on vacation for a little more than a week now. My first day back at work. So of course it was the day before a holiday.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't even supposed to work today. I called my boss and I told him I got back from my vacation a little early and I wanted to help out a little bit. So I told him I'd go in before the holiday.
Yeah, get that extra cash. Why not? Especially
Well,
for
I was gonna
July,
get paid
right?
for it for a vacation anyway, but this just gives me an extra vacation day towards the end, like on the back half, because I think we're going to Mexico or Puerto Rico or something like that in
Oh,
August.
oh,
So yeah, so
nice.
that's another week that I'm probably gonna be out from the show.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll be ready for that, but we are gonna get ready for the All-Star week. Hopefully we can get everybody on and we can get the fantasy regrets, right? Draft pick regret.
Yeah.
That one's gonna be a good show. And then we can go ahead and talk about, I guess that's gonna be a long week for fantasy um owners. I kind of like the first week where they had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the rest of the week. So it's 4 days added to the week. So I think it's week 15, I believe. But we'll talk about that more as we go on with our shows. We still have Tuesday and then the next weekend before the All-Star break. So, yeah, man, let's go ahead and get into our show. There's a lot of things going on in baseball today. This week so far, there's been a lot of things. And one of the things that we talked about in the last show was Trevor Bauer. You didn't get the chance to speak on it. And, it's pretty crazy, dude. Like, what's going on with him, and I mean, no one wants to go through it, and kind of giving our opinion on it. It's a little hard because no one wants to get hurt. No one wants to put or point the finger and say, oh, it was her fault, it was his. We don't know the full story. There are text messages out there, there are things out there, and if you're a fantasy owner and you own Trevor Bauer, he's an administrative leave. So there's players out there for you to pick up, not to keep or replace them. That's not what I'm saying, but it's something that you got to really look at, and it's something that it's kind of sucks for his fans. So I mean, I don't know what you think, Will.
Man, this guy. I mean, no one really knows like the whole story, right? I mean, we
Yeah,
only can read or hear from Bauer himself, and I don't. It kind of just seems like I don't know, man, because celebrities they get um accusations like this somewhat often, more than any of us do. And it's really hard to believe that a guy that has so much on the line would do anything right now to really like hinder his career. He just got this huge 3-year contract for 100 something million. He's the highest paid player in baseball this year, even more than I think Mike Trout, right?
I believe he's at 43, right, for this year. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's
including the $10 million signing bonus, I think.
exactly. I think, to be honest, he is an administrative leave. That means that he is out for 7 days. It doesn't mean he's going to be suspended. It doesn't mean he's going to get released by the Dodgers, because there's no evidence still pointing to that direction that he is going to get let go. MLB, though, they did say that they don't, approve of anything he's done. Of course, they're investigating. There has been
Well,
players that's been suspended for the full season because of, uh, you know, what
domestic abuse,
exactly,
but
domestic
on
abuse.
his behalf, he's saying that it wasn't abuse because there are emails and messages that are sent back and forth between this girl and him, that where she was telling him, I want you to choke me, I want you to pull my hair, I want you to
Yeah,
do this, I want you to do that, I want you to slap me. And he was into it, and
yeah,
it happened one night, and then it happened again,
yeah.
like why would she come back if she wasn't really into it? So, and then especially with this guy being so out in the public, he has his own podcast, he's on national TV almost every single day, whether it's in the dugout or actually on the mound. He's a big voice for
Yeah,
the players in
that is.
MLB, a big voice for, sports in general. So I, I'm really hoping that it's just kind of she's just trying to get some cash from him, or something like that, which it's highly probable that it is. But until the facts actually come out, until the investigation is actually done, we really don't know. Now, and
Yeah.
honestly, like, I like what Trevor Bauer is doing for the sport. I've always said that ever since we've been talking about Bauer on the show. I never really liked him as a person, which I've also said that on our show. I never really liked him too much as a player, and I never really liked his immature attitude and things that he's done in the sport. But it does attract attention,
Yeah.
So more attention to baseball is good attention to baseball.
So
The
that's why
attention
he's
that
on
he's getting
administrative leave,
now,
though. That's why they put him on administrative leave, because he doesn't want to affect the team, and he's not appealing. He's not going to appeal. He's just going to go ahead and do it. And I believe the All-Star break is coming, so that's going to kind of help, with whatever they're working on to get him off of this, thing. And if they can extend it another 7 days, and I believe they're going to go ahead and do it. Didn't mean to cut you off, Will. There's Sam. Hey guys, glad to be back this week. And then Felix, he says, go to Puerto Rico. So for your vacation, I guess, Will. So what's up, guys? I haven't seen you guys in a while. Glad to see you here in our show. If you guys have questions, go ahead and put them down in the chat. Let's go ahead and go on, Will, with our show. And Bobby Bonilla Day just happened on July 1st. And this guy is getting paid a lot of money, man, not to play. The last time he played was in 1999, and he's getting paid $1.19 million just
every
to sit at
single
home
year.
every single year, dude. So the Mets are playing someone to be just in his couch, drinking beer or whatever he wants to do, for not even playing baseball, man. That's
Yeah,
crazy,
and
right?
I think it's still for like another 13 or 14 more years.
I
That he's
believe
still
it's
going to
till,
be paying for this.
yeah, it's going to be till 2034 or 2035, I believe,
Yeah.
something like that.
That's
And
crazy, man. That is so crazy.
whoever his agent was really, really like smart. I think they did a good job, because I wish I had something like that where I can get like millions, just be at home and chill. No,
That's the
not really.
lifetime contract, man. That's the lifetime contract,
That's the goal. That's the life goal.
I think that's what Mike Trout was kind of going for,
Well, he could still do it. So what
he
happened with
still
Bobby
could,
Bonilla?
yeah.
They bought out his contract in 2000. They bought out his contract. I believe they owed him $5.9 million. So what happened is they bought out his contract, and he said, hey, I'd rather you guys pay me 1.2 million a year, and we'll call it quits. So I guess it extended all the way till 2034, 35. In that time, interest gets accrued, right? So it continues. So that's why it got up from 1.2 all the way to 1.19. So yeah, it was 1.02. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. So 1.19, which is wow. This guy got a good contract for life. So he's ready, man. He's set for retirement. He retired pretty much at 40 years old. Everybody's dream. He's over there living it up. He probably has a business and getting more money off of that.
He better, man, if he's smart. I mean, because he's still going to be getting that $1 million every year for a long time from now. But
of course,
if he really wants to set up, his kids for success, I don't even know if he has kids, because I don't know his personal life like that, but just his family in general, you don't want it to stop right there, because once that cash flow stops coming in, you want to be able to still continue that lifestyle that you still have, so it's the same thing like retirement, right? Like you want a really good retirement fund or 401k or whatever after you stop working, so that way you can still kind of continue to have the lifestyle that you've always had since you started your career, pretty much.
Yep. And I see that you're wearing the Dodgers championships all over your hat. So
yeah, man, it's a late birthday present from my wife. So I got it says the World Series 1988, World Series 1981. I got the 2020 World Series on this side. This side just says World Series, and then on the back, I don't know if you guys can see this.
Let's see, check it out.
It says 7 times world champion.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dope. That's a cool hat, man. You just got it then?
Yeah, there's a sports store in the outlets that's pretty close to here, about 20 minutes away from my house. And I'm always going inside any sports stores to look for anything Dodgers. And living near Philly, most of the time it's like a lot of Philly stuff, a little bit of Pirate stuff, maybe some Nationals, more East Coast teams. And it's very rare that I actually find like some Dodger stuff. And I feel like I saw this hat. It was a 7 5/8. I know I got a big ass head, but it's really hard for me to find. It's really hard for me to find hats that actually like fit me. Even when I look for like a regular like blue Dodger hat or a black Dodger hat, a lot of times they don't have my size. They don't have a 7 5/8. And dude, it was like there were only 3 hats there that looked like this. It was a 7 1/4, and then right in the back a 7 5/8. I was like, dang.
Got it.
I gotta get it, man. I gotta get it. And I
Hey,
actually
dude.
got a shirt to match too. That
Oh, okay.
says 7-time champions on the front. I'll wear it on another show so that way you can see it. But
Yeah. Tune in so we can see that shirt. Hey,
yeah, man. I'll wear
since
it on the Tuesday show.
so since you're wearing that, the Dodgers did go to the White House this weekend, and I'm wearing a mariachi shirt, just like Joe Kelly was
Joe
wearing
Kelly.
a mariachi jacket.
That was really cool, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
honestly,
thought it was
like,
cool.
check this out. It was so funny. So I'm on Instagram and I see Cody Bellinger that he posted a picture of, or no, actually it was a video of him in front of the White House, and you
Yeah.
see like Chris Taylor and Austin Barnes and everyone else behind him and everything. He's like, with his phone, just like recording and everything.
Yeah.
And then my wife looks over at me and she's like, "What are you smiling about?" And I'm like, this. I showed her like the video of Cody Bellinger. She's like, "Oh my god, you look like a little kid," and it's like Christmas or something.
What is that? That's your man crush or what?
No, I mean it wasn't even just Bellinger, dude. It's just seeing the Dodgers at the White House.
Yeah.
We saw the Astros in 2018 at the White House. We saw the Red Sox in 2019, and then last year we saw the Nationals.
The Nationals didn't go to the White House because
they
of that
didn't. You're right,
pandemic.
you're
Yeah.
right,
So
you're
it
right.
kind of sucked. So there hasn't been anybody going to the White House since 2019. And yeah, 2021. We're in 2021.
stupid
Doesn't seem
COVID.
that we're in 2021 because 2020 felt like it was just we were locked up, man.
Yeah, it
It's
felt really
kind of
short,
weird, right?
though. I feel like, dang, it's 2021 already. I
Yeah.
graduated from high school 20 years ago.
Damn.
Jeez,
That's a long time ago.
I know, man. I'm getting old.
When you know, you know.
I mean, it's all right though. I'm not old. I'm experienced.
Exactly.
That's what I tell the youngins.
That's what you got to say all the time, man. Let's keep moving on, dude. Let's go ahead to the 2 start pitchers here. And there's a long list. I see like a bunch of pitchers on here. And, like I always do, I always give you guys, and because Tony's not here, but you were here. Since you're here, just let me know which 2 pitchers on this list, because there's a bunch of them, are available and ready to go.
So most of them from, if you guys can see the numbers from 21 to 40, most of these guys are available pretty much all around. And there's a few pitchers on here that are actually they have really, really good matchups. You have to think about the matchups. You have to think about, is it a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher? And the lineups they're going against, are they lefty heavy or righty heavy? And most of the time I really just look at matchups, but if there's like a couple pitchers that I'm looking a little bit deeper into, like a couple that I see right here, Kobe Allard from Texas. I see that he's facing Detroit and Oakland, and both of those teams are underperforming right now. So that might be a pretty good option. And then another one that I see is Mike Minor. That's facing Cincinnati and Cleveland. Mike Minor, if you remember a few years ago, this guy was really solid, man, really solid pitcher. And he's not the kind of guy that at one time he was a must start. He's not really a must start option right now anymore. He's a little bit older. But with these matchups with Cincinnati and Cleveland, against Cincinnati, it's going to be in his home ballpark at Kauffman Stadium. So I feel like that's a pretty good matchup for him. And then at Cleveland, and Cleveland has just kind of been, they did get Franmil Reyes back, and he actually went 3 for 5 yesterday. He had the day off today. He just came back from an injury 3 for 5 on his first game back. So that's a good sign for fantasy owners that own Franmil Reyes anywhere. But still, I think Mike Minor is a really good option. Both of those matchups are pretty decent. Ryan Weathers from San Diego. Washington has a pretty decent lineup, but they don't have Trey Turner right now, and they have Juan Soto, who's in a slump, and they just lost their masher, Kyle Schwarber, who we can talk about a little bit later. But that's a really good matchup right there also.
I was going to ask you what happened to Trey Turner. I know he got a cycle on Sunday on his birthday, and
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
had
see
some,
him in the lineup on Monday, Tuesday. No, wait, when was it? He got a cycle on Thursday, no, Wednesday, and I didn't see him on the lineup on Thursday, Friday, and today.
Yeah,
What's
he had
going
some
on?
leg tightness.
Oh,
So
I think it was
it
because
doesn't
of
really
that triple.
seem like it's anything big.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just day to day for now. Hopefully he doesn't have to go on the IL. Sometimes it helps fantasy owners if the player does go on the IL.
Mhm.
It sucks when the teams wait 5 days and then place him on the IL. Because right now I own Trey Turner in one of the leagues, and he actually got me 31 points in one day. That day that he hit for the cycle.
Yep.
And if they were to put him on the IL, at least I could have, slot him into my IL slot and then picked up another shortstop, or just kind of even picked up a different pitcher if I wanted to. But instead,
Hey,
he's kind of riding
Will,
the
don't
bench
mean to
right now.
cut you off right quick, but Tony says Kay Allard, he said the same thing as you. And then Tony Gonsolin, he's available like 50% of the league. So some of the leagues out there for Gonsolin, I think that's a good pick as well. But I kind of see Gonsolin because I have him on my fantasy league, my fantasy team. He only pitches 3 to 4 innings. He hasn't
Well,
got strong
he'll-
enough to
he'll build
pitch that
up.
5 in. Yeah.
But I think the main issue with him is he actually going to start, or is he going to come in after an opener? Because he was supposed to start, what was it, on Friday, Thursday or Friday this week? I think it was on Friday.
He started on Thursday.
But he didn't start.
He did.
It was Victor
Gonzalez?
Victor Gonzalez. It was the opener. He pitched an inning, and then Tony
Oh.
Gonsolin came in after.
Oh, okay. So that's
So-
why the pitch count was a little low. I was wondering why that was happening.
Yeah, he actually
Okay.
pitched. I don't remember if he came in the second or the third inning, but he
Ah.
pitched. I want to say it was 4 innings, 4.1 innings, and yeah, he didn't start the game. So we'll see if he's actually a real legit 2-star pitcher when it comes to next week. He might just do that. We never know what the Dodgers are going to do. They seem to surprise us kind of whenever they have things going on. Like right now with Trevor Bauer out, which the news just kind of broke yesterday that he's on his 7-day leave.
Yeah.
Is that going to change anything? I don't know.
And that's why I
Maybe-
keep putting the list out there, because we talked about Bauer being on the administrative leave, and it could be more than just 7 days. His agents and MLB still trying to figure that out. There's a lot of pitchers out there. And if you're in a great league, like we've been talking about this every show that we actually record or go on live on YouTube, we say that our league, we don't see these pitchers that are out here. If it'll be crazy to see Tony Gonsolin. If it was our league, he wouldn't even be on there. 50% is a little bit too high. You would probably be thinking about pitchers like in a 4%, 5%, maybe even those are sometimes even gone. So depending on how strong your league is, you got to look at these pitchers and got to look in detail and see, hey, I need to look up, and you got to look at matchups too. Like Will is giving you a good pickup there, because I mean, Cincinnati and Cleveland. Cincinnati's hasn't been playing all that great, and then Cleveland, their hitting hasn't been all there. Their pitching's been there, but their hitting hasn't. So it's a good
And then
pickup.
the same thing with Colby Allard. He only has, I think he only has RP eligibility.
Yeah.
No, actually, they gave him SP eligibility in Yahoo now.
So he has the both.
He has both now. Yeah. So
Okay,
that's
cool.
great. He's only 10% owned in Yahoo right now. He's
Yeah.
he's down 3% from last week, but I think it's because people just used him as a streamer for
Mhm.
this week, because this week he played against Oakland and he got 15 points. He went 6 innings, got 15 points. I think I owned him in this league earlier in the week, but yeah.
And
then
you
next
said
week-
Weathers. You said Weathers
yeah,
too, right? From
Ryan
San Diego?
Weathers is a good one.
You know,
versus
the problem I have
Washington.
with that, the problem I have with Ryan Weathers is that he's not facing the Dodgers. If he was facing the Dodgers, I know for sure he would dominate.
Well, if you're
Everybody
seeing
on the
the
Padres team,
like
go ahead.
Washington's struggling right now, dude. They just lost, the biggest bat in their lineup, um, and they've been without Trey Turner for a little while. So if he's not
Oh,
going
so
to
you were
be,
talking about, I thought you were talking about Trey Turner. Now you're saying Schwarber was a big bet.
well, Schwarber's the big bat. Trey Turner
Yeah.
is the best bat that they have, but
Yeah.
Schwarber's the big bat. That's the guy that you have to be scared of the long ball with him. But since he's out for what looks to be, might even be the rest of the season, they're saying it's a major injury. So we might not be able to see him for the rest of the season, man. If the Nationals made the playoffs, then they would try to probably take care of him a little bit better and try to get him ready for the playoffs. But if they don't
Well,
make
with
the
that
playoffs,
said,
if they don't make the playoffs, I don't think that Schwarber is going to be back anytime this season.
you know what? And with that said, that's good that you say it because we want to go ahead and talk about the standings right now, man. And you said Schwarber with the Nationals will help, them get into the playoffs. And without him, we'll talk about the East a little bit more. But right now, let's look at the Central. And this is the weakest divisions, right? We're looking at the weakest divisions and going into the All-Star break. Is there any surprises for you in this standings that you see? Because from what I'm seeing right now, we talked about this before the season started, and I said the Brewers weren't going to be in first place. I said the Cubs were going to be there, and they're riding a 7-game losing streak since they hit that no-hitter. They haven't put it together, and the Brewers are in first place. They have 2 dominant pitchers. They shut me up pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the White Sox, of course, I said the Indians were going to give them a little bit of run for their money. And yeah, the White Sox are leading like we expected. And they do have a lot of injuries. And I feel, and I think you put it on Instagram, you said that they should trade for someone in the White Sox. The White Sox do need a trade. What do you think they need to actually compete with the rest of the other teams, not just their division, but with the other teams?
Yeah, the Central is out of control this season. Everyone thought that the Central was going to be like the Cubs and Cardinals, and then the Reds right behind them, and then the Brewers behind them, and then the Pirates all the way down at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And the only one that we were right about is the Pirates.
No. We were wrong about the Pirates. They're still a little bit. They won 29. We were saying we're going to win probably like 15. That's no,
yeah, dude.
yeah, we're right. Yeah,
Brewers,
Pirates.
the Brewers, when it comes to the Central, they have the best pitching.
Yeah.
Like you look
Yeah.
at the Cubs, all they have is Kyle Hendricks. You look at the Reds.
Wait, he
they
threw a
have-
no-hitter, man.
Yeah. Along with the 8 other guys that threw no hitters this season, right?
Oh man, yeah, that's true. But hey, Kyle Hendricks no hit the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium though. Damn, that sucks, man. But after that, the Dodgers have been playing good. They have a 7-game winning streak, and that probably helped them up. And probably like, you know what, this is not going to happen again. We need to step it up, and they did.
Yeah, I think
but yeah,
Muncy and
uh-huh.
Justin Turner are really keeping the team alive, which is why they have as many wins as they do, along with their amazing pitching. But Mookie's starting to heat up a little bit. I see him slap a couple base hits here and there, and got a couple home runs recently too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit right now, though. Let's talk about the Central.
All right.
Yeah, we still haven't got to the West yet, man. Relax.
I know.
You're getting too excited over there. So the White
So
Sox,
moving
the
on
White
to
Sox,
the American League Central.
yeah,
We
the
all
White
thought that it
Sox.
was going to be like, at least I did. I thought it was going to be White Sox and Twins, kind of like neck and neck at the top. And you look at
Yeah.
the standings, and the Twins are all the way at the bottom.
Yeah,
All the way at the bottom, dude. And they have a sick lineup too. They look really good.
yeah.
They just give up
They
too
do.
many runs, man. They give
Their
up way
pitching's
too many
not
runs.
there, man. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened to the
exactly,
Twins.
Exactly.
Their pitching's not there, and you said the Twins were going to be there, and the White Sox were going to be there, and like I said earlier, I said the White Sox, we're going to have trouble with the Indians, but the White Sox are just dominating right now. They have a lot of injuries, but yeah, they're still dominating. The Indians don't have that hitting. They just lost Naylor, which the injury was
Yeah,
really
that was
really bad.
bad,
This
man.
was
That was
girls.
bad.
Yeah. Um, and I don't. They're riding the 4-game losing streak right now, and the White Sox, just won 5. So they were probably 2 games away from first place before the Indians went into that 4-game losing streak. So I mean, it doesn't count today. I don't know what the results happened today, but this is from yesterday, and tomorrow we'll see another standing. But whatever it is, I think that the White Sox are easily going into cruising mode where they're easily going to win the division from what the looks of it right now. But they
Yeah.
do need to go ahead and make that big trade. I think they need someone that can go ahead and I feel like they need a veteran presence. And if they need that veteran presence, what do you think of like Cruz going to the White Sox? Would that be something
Um,
that you be like, oh man?
that would be huge for the White Sox because they really don't have a DH. They just lost Yermin Mercedes. Well, not lost
They
him, but
sent them
they
down, right?
they sent him down to AAA. So he was their DH, even though he had catcher eligibility in ESPN, which a lot of us took advantage for a little bit while he was, riding that hot streak.
Yeah.
But they don't really have a permanent DH in Chicago. So a guy like that would be a huge bolster to their lineup. They lost Eloy Jimenez. They lost the other outfielder, blanking on his name. But
I know who you're talking about. Now I'm blanking about it. Felix, I think you're a White Sox fan, I believe. Or I don't know. Someone out there's a White Sox fan.
I know
Jasper, I know,
Jasper
so
is a White Sox
a
fan.
White Sox fan. Let us know, man. Correct us. Give us that outfielder. Let's go ahead and move on, dude. Let's go ahead into the East. And I have the 2 slides. I know I have the East and West, National and American. So let's talk about the AL. Boston's leading in that, and that's a big surprise because we picked the Yankees
Hey,
and the
Tony
Blue
called it
Jays.
though.
He
Tony
did,
said,
dude.
"Watch
He
out for
did.
the Red Sox." He even
He
said
did.
that before the season started.
He did. He was one of the ones that said, "Oh yeah, no, the Red Sox look like they have a pretty good team." And I think we've talked about it, and yeah, I agree with Tony when he said that Kike and you have Verdugo out there. They're having fun. They're helping the team have like a good time out there. You have Devers. You have all these guys out there in Boston. They're playing good
Um,
baseball, man.
Tony
The
just
Rays.
said Luis Robert.
Luis Robert, thank you,
Yeah,
Tony. Like,
there
oh,
you
he's
go.
out there. Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, Tony's on the chat. He's not on the show, but if you have questions for Tony, I'm pretty sure he can answer them for you guys. Even us, we can go ahead and read them off right here. But yeah, the Red Sox, it's a big surprise. We said the Yankees, Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are on second place. The Yankees, man, are they going to be sellers or are they going to just be buyers? I feel like they're going to be sellers at this point. They're above 500. They're playing good enough ball to be above 500. But in the East, you can't afford to be 2-3 games above 500. You need to be like at least 15 to 20 games to win that division. And yeah, man, I don't see the Yankees getting out of it unless they make a big trade. And I don't see any big name out there that's available for them unless they
Um,
go after Scherzer, man.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. Because if the Nationals really don't think if they think that they're not going to make it to the playoffs after losing Schwarber, after so many injuries and guys kind of just having a down season, then maybe it is their chance to sell because Scherzer's a free agent after this season.
Yeah,
So I don't see why not. If they really if the owners think that they don't have a chance to at least win the division, then why not sell?
yeah,
Why not sell guys that you know are going to be gone within the next few months or even after the 2022 season,
yeah,
you have Soto, you have Turner, really young guys that are stars that have star power. So
exactly.
rebuild right now, and if you trade off Scherzer and go after some younger pitchers that will be MLB ready within a year or two, that's what the Padres did, right?
Yeah.
When they started trading off for little pieces, kind of here and there, they knew that they were going to be ready within a year or two. And then
Yep.
look at them now. I still don't think they're going to make it to the World Series this year. I think that their bats lack a little bit, other than Tatis. But I
We'll
think
talk
next
about that a
year,
little bit later. Well, let's talk about the you get. I know the West is our like our yeah. I want to talk about the West, but let's talk about the East. You said the Nationals gonna trade Scherzer. They're only 2.5 games behind.
yeah.
Uh,
But I mean, when you think about it, you look at the National League East, and none of the teams in the National League East are really like powerhouses,
yeah,
right? The Phillies have a decent lineup, but Nola he's underperforming. Wheeler is amazing, but you
he is
can't win it
amazing.
all with just one pitcher, and the same thing with like uh
The Braves.
the Braves, yeah. So they have a couple decent pitchers. Charlie Morton is kind of coming into his own now. He's looking a little bit better than he did in the beginning of the season.
He's becoming that
Um,
veteran presence that they need.
exactly, that they
Yeah,
need.
yeah.
Max Fried looks pretty good. I think Max Fried is actually a 2-star pitcher for next week too.
I believe so. I think I saw his name on there. So, dude, I just think that the Nationals really got to think about are they going to make the push for the playoffs? Do they think they can make the push without even Scherzer and getting pieces from the Yankees so Scherzer can go into go to the Yankees or whatever? But you know, now we can talk about the NL West and now we
Well,
can talk about the AL West and yeah, those two teams. I think no surprises. We thought the Mets were going to win. We talked about it and we said the Mets and the Nationals were going to be fighting and the Braves were going to be fighting for that first spot because the Mets made a lot of moves this offseason.
yeah.
So no
I
surprises there,
I
right?
did say that I don't think the Mets are ready yet. I think that they need at least a one season where they can kind of get their chemistry together, because it's almost like half the team is new.
Yeah.
So I didn't really see the Mets leading the division this season. I was looking at the Braves leading the division, but the Braves have been kind of like hit by the injury bug too, and it's really with their pitching. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like every single team needs pitching right now, and if you're not in the hunt for the playoffs, you might as well be sellers. So
Exactly.
that's what I kind of see from the Nationals. If they had Strasburg, if Scherzer and Strasburg were still healthy and they were leading the team, I think the Nationals wouldn't be even considering selling any of their assets. But because Strasburg has been up and down and out for majority of the season, I think that that's going to be the issue with them. So why not sell? Why
Gotcha.
not sell to the Mets? I
No,
know it's
I
a
don't think they'll do
division.
that. I don't
It,
think
it's
they'll do that.
a it's a division rival, but I mean, when you look at it, it's a
It won't
business.
happen.
It's
It
a
won't
business.
happen. I don't think it'll happen though. I'm
No, I
just
don't.
throwing
I don't
that
think
out
it'll
there.
happen either. But I mean, the Mets and maybe the Padres might be looking for Scherzer. I don't know.
Dude, okay, so this is gonna be wild. And now we can talk about the NOS. We're excited about this one. And Will, you've been talking about the West since we started with the
Since we
Central.
started the show.
All right, so look, the Giants are in first place. That's a big surprise to me. To
Yeah,
me, the Giants weren't
everybody,
even supposed to be there.
everybody. I
Yeah.
think it was a surprise even to the Giants.
Okay, so we're talking about Scherzer. Why not the Dodgers? Why not the Dodgers? Why can't the Dodgers go ahead and get Scherzer?
They might
Bauer, we
have
don't
to
know.
if Bauer doesn't pan out. If something happens where the Dodgers lose Bauer for the rest of the season or even throughout his whole contract, they need another pitcher. They lost Dustin May. There's no way that they can win the World Series with only Bueller and Kershaw.
Look, the trade that I'm proposing is Tony Gonsolin to the Nationals. Give us Scherzer. We'll ride Scherzer. It doesn't matter if Bauer goes out or he stays, because then you think about, okay, Bauer comes back, no suspension, nothing happened. You have your number 3 starter or number 2 starter, and then you have Scherzer on top of it. Oh my God, think about that. You'll have Bueller, Kershaw, Bauer, Scherzer. Where would you put Scherzer? Would you put him 1 or 2? I mean,
Dude.
I know I'm thinking out loud, and I don't know if the Dodgers are actually looking at this, but why not the Dodgers? Why can't the Dodgers go after Scherzer? I know you said
Well,
the Padres and
for
you
one
said the
thing, they're
Mets.
already over the luxury tax, so they would have to get rid of some money first. And the one that I can think of that would actually make some room for Scherzer, because Scherzer's making over 20 million a year, is David Price.
David Price. But
David
then you
Price, and it's going to take more than Gonsolin to get Scherzer from the Nationals. Um, why not even throw Gavin Lux in there?
Gavin Lux. That's your favorite player. That's your favorite Dodger,
Mm,
though.
Nah.
No, not anymore.
Oh man, I mean,
Okay, so look, who's
that's
that?
my
I
favorite
can't see.
Dodger right there, dog. That's Justin Turner.
Justin Turner. Okay, so look, okay, so you said the Padres can go and get Scherzer. Do they have enough to trade
Oh
for
yeah,
him?
for sure, dude. They have so many prospects. Like we were talking about when they were making all those trades, that they're depleting their farm system. But when I was looking at their farm, they got rid of like two of their top 100 prospects, but they still have like three more.
Yeah, they
And
could go ahead and trade Weathers and Mackenzie Gore for Scherzer.
ooh, Mackenzie Gore, I don't think they would want to do that.
Well, hey,
Maybe
do they
Weathers
want a World
and
Series or do they want another time? Do they
maybe
want another
Weathers and
appearance in the
Lamette.
playoffs?
Maybe Weathers and Lamette.
No, I don't think the Nationals will fall for that because they want someone that's going to be a legit starter. They're going to want someone like it's going to be like a number one or a number two pitcher. And Mackenzie Gore has been on the Padres talk for a long time, and we're just waiting for him to come up. Weathers, it's another guy that's come up. He's only 21 years old, and he's proven he belongs in the major leagues, right? So imagine if the Padres pull that trade off, then they're World Series caliber team. Right
Yeah.
now, what we're talking about is, oh, the Padres can make it to the playoffs and probably sneak in, but Scherzer will put them over the top. They don't have Clevenger yet. They don't
Right.
have Clevenger yet. They can go ahead and do that, man. Imagine that happens. And then we'll be, as Dodger fans, we'll be like, what just happened? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Another
seriously.
trade? Another trade. Like, yeah, I would just be like, oh my God. I wouldn't want it. But as a baseball fan, I'm like, wow. That would be
Mind
crazy.
blown.
Yeah, that would be crazy, dude. Like, like I said, Tony Gonsolin, and you can throw in another minor leaguer for Scherzer. He'll be a Dodger. Guess what? The Dodgers are, again, can be right here, the champs of 2021. I do think they need a pitcher. This distraction with Bauer is not good news for anybody. I know we're a fantasy baseball podcast, but like, why not talk about baseball like in general, man? These trades are gonna happen before July 31st.
Well, we
And
can also
dude,
talk about fantasy wise. What's that going to do for Scherzer? Being on a
exactly.
team that's winning all the time.
Yeah.
Either one of those trades, whoever owns Max Scherzer, that's going to be a huge boost for them. It's going to be a lot more wins, and probably even make his ERA go down a little bit just because of the better solid defense.
Yeah, solid. It's gonna be solid. And Dodger Stadium is a good place to pitch, and even Petco. So
both are.
whatever. If anybody's hearing from the major leagues, I don't want that Padre trade to happen. Veto it.
Veto.
Veto it. It's going to the ALS. Dude, the Astros are leading. They had a stretch where they won 11, I believe 11 in a row. They were playing hot baseball. They had a good month in June. I believe they only had like 5, 6 losses in that month. And the Astros are really hot. Doesn't matter who they're facing, they're beating up. I know there were a few teams that we said that, like the Rangers and the Twins, but they're Major League Baseball teams. So let's give some kudos to the Astros. They're playing baseball like they're supposed to. I know Gabriel said that the A's might win that division. From what I remember, I believe I said I was with the A's. They're 2 games behind the Astros, and the Astros are doing good. Do you think this standings for the American League is good? You think it's what we called at the midpoint, at the midpoint of the season.
Yeah, with the Astros, dude, I really didn't think that they were going to be as good as they are right now. I thought that they were going to be underperforming. I was really looking at Jose Altuve to be a sleeper for this season, but this guy is kind of going above and beyond now. This guy's hitting home runs kind of left and right. I don't know what his numbers are looking right now, but I know there was like a 2 week period where he was batting over 500 and just hitting a bunch of home runs.
Yeah.
The smallest guy in baseball, and he was acting like he's the best hitter in baseball. So I am glad to see that though from the Astros because they have a lot to prove. They have a lot to prove because of Mike Fiers blowing the whistle and what everyone knows that happened in 2017. So um, I hate the Astros organization, but I know it came from above that kind of like made everything kind of go down. So
Oh, I got one. Will, like, I don't know if you read about it, but
Evan Gaddis.
Yes.
Yeah, I read that.
You just see that he came out on the podcast saying that everybody was cheating. He was kind of saying Dodgers need to calm down. You guys cheated too, and there were so many other teams that cheated. So, dude, you got caught. You got caught. So you can't go and tell the other teams.
He could say that, but it's all hearsay,
Hearsay, yeah.
And what if he's going to come out and say like the Dodgers cheated? Tell us how it happened. He doesn't even play baseball anymore. He's not part of the organization anymore. So he has no, nothing's going to happen to him. There are no repercussions. He's not going to get hit by a pitch. So just go out there. If you're going to say that other teams are cheating, then just at least tell the listeners, tell the viewers or whatever it was that's watching or listening to you. Tell us.
Give us a source. Give us a source.
Yeah, give us a way that the Dodgers were cheating. Give us a way that these other teams that you say were cheating are cheating. And if you're gonna say it's pine tar or spider tack on the fingers, don't come with that bullshit because that's every single pitcher in the league that's doing that.
Okay, I got a question for you. We're Dodger fans. If that happens, if Evan Gaddis comes out and says the Dodgers were cheating and here is X and Y and this is the proof, how would you feel as a Dodger fan because the Dodgers cheated?
I guess it would depend on what year they cheated because
2017. Let's do 2017.
2017, then
they deserve to lose.
Yeah, we deserve to lose,
Yeah,
that's the way it is. Like I'll still support my team, but I'm gonna
accept
tuck
it.
my tail between the back of my legs, and I'm gonna be quiet a little bit more than I am now. I've been so adamant about Dodgers are the best in baseball for the past 4 years. There was 1 year out of the past 4 years that I think they weren't the best team, which was 2018, where the Red Sox just
dominated,
dude. They rocked us bad.
Yeah.
All of our bats were underperforming that season, but I mean, they had JD Martinez and dude, their lineup was sick, especially with Chris Sale striking out Machado in Game 7.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's your favorite player though, right?
Nah, fuck that.
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I think Tony has said that before. Yeah, right.
He says that all the time.
Yeah. So Tony, if you're listening, I know what you're saying.
I get it, but there are different levels of cheating, like going above and beyond, putting cameras in center field and stealing signs that way. So exactly what pitch is coming every single at bat. That's excessive. But if you're talking about like the bringing a camera into the dugout and watching your at bats, the previous at bats and stuff like that, like I know that's against the rules also, but that's not as bad as having an actual video feed in the clubhouse where they're telling you what pitch is coming.
That's true.
That's true. I mean, if you're watching your previous at bats or other players' previous at bats, it's more research, so you can kind of get an idea of what's going to come. You don't necessarily know what's going to come. It's giving you a slight edge, but yes, it's technically cheating because it's against MLB rules. But it's like in a marriage. If you slap a girl's butt, is it considered cheating? I mean, it could be depending on how your wife is, right?
What? If
But
you're in the dugout, no.
well, there's no girls in the dugout except for maybe Alana Rizzo before, or what's the new girl's name? Kristen something.
Kristen something from the Dodgers. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that needs to get her highlights redone because her roots are
What the
growing.
I don't know, man. You look at highlights and all that different stuff. Hey, look, let's go ahead and move on. You talked about this guy right here, and this is one of the guys that actually he does need to get traded, man. You're saying he's gonna get traded to the White Sox?
That's the word on the street, man. The White Sox have checked in on Adam Frazier, and
Oh my
from the
God.
looks like
Imagine if
they
that
really need
happens.
it, dude.
Oh,
Imagine if that
dude.
happens. He's been on fire lately, dude. The past like 2 months, even before that, actually. This guy's been a top second base option in fantasy baseball.
Yes,
He
he
has
has.
outfield eligibility too, which means that he can play the outfield. So losing guys like Eloy Jimenez and Luis Robert, there's an outfielder right there to fill the spot. And then
And
imagine if
he's
they
been
also
playing
were
good
to
for the
get
Pirates. He's been
imagine if
good
they
for the
were also
Pirates.
get Nelson Cruz. If they were to get Nelson Cruz and Adam Frazier, what else do they need, man? What else do they need?
I believe they still need one bullpen guy. One
Yeah,
bullpen guy will be
that's true.
legit for the White Sox, man. But Adam Frazier and Cruz, oh my God. I think the White Sox are back on. I mean, I'm not saying they're not going to make it to the World Series. I didn't pick them as one of my favorites to make it to the World Series. And I'm gonna say it out loud right now. I picked the Yankees. I excuse like Jasper. I know you're on there. Go Sox for sure. You know, I know Adam Frazier for sure with the White Sox. That's just a different level team with this guy on that roster. Um, and then if you add Cruz to the DH slot, oh my God, they're unstoppable. And they can go all the way with those trades. And we can fantasize. Why not, man? We're fans. We're not MLB. We're just throwing out ideas. It could happen. What if these trade talks are already happening? What if they're already asking for this guy? You know, what if they're saying, "Oh, Adam Frazier, is he available?" The Pirates are going to be like, "Yeah, he's available. Why not?
Yeah, they're
Give me
not
your
going
number one."
anywhere. They're in the
Yeah,
bottom right now, dude.
yeah,
They're
they're
not going
sellers.
anywhere. They're not going anywhere up, right? Because they have no pitching and their hitting is kind of
It's
garbage
nowhere.
almost all the way around. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. So yeah, I see the White Sox doing this, and if they do this, I believe they will make it to the World Series. And Jasper, sorry man, but if they make it with the against the Dodgers, I don't know. It's a toss
well,
up,
they're gonna
but they
have to
need to
get
make
past
these
the
trades.
Astros first, right? Because most likely
But
it's
if
going to
they
be
make
White
this trade
Sox and
though,
Astros in the championship series.
if they make this trade though, what do you think? Astros and White Sox.
Well, Adam Frazier, that's a solid batting average to add to the lineup. It's a
Yeah,
guy that's going to get on base a lot, but he's not a game changer. Nelson Cruz, that's a game changer. That's a
but you have
guy that
Abreu. Abreu is the MVP, the reigning MVP, the
yeah,
2020
but he's
reigning MVP.
underperforming this season. He's not playing like an MVP.
No, he's not. He's
Maybe
not.
he could turn it up. Oh, hopefully he could turn it up. But still, I think for Abreu to really play to his full potential, he needs to DH a little bit more often and give his legs a break at first base. So
Okay.
keep him healthy and keep him fresh.
All right.
But if they were to get Nelson Cruz doesn't play any fielding positions anymore. So he would have to be a permanent DH every single day, and Abreu would have to play first base every single day, no breaks, other than just a routine day off. So
That's what it takes to win the World Series sometimes, and you got to do what you need to do to win it. And I think Tony La Russa is one of those guys that pushes players to do that. I know we've talked about Tony La Russa being one of those guys that are not behind their players with Mercedes. Ever since that incident, Mercedes hitting went down, and they send them down to the minors because of it. And I think they can do it. They can go ahead and do that. They have the right coach. They have the right mentality. If they go ahead and get that piece, I think it'll be a big thing in Chicago, man. What do you think about this guy though? What do you think about Josh Donaldson? You said the Mets.
yeah, the Mets have checked in on Donaldson. I think that's another personality that they're going to have to deal with to go along with all these other things that are going along. That I think that if this really does happen, they're really only looking at what he can do at the plate, and he has a great veteran presence. But I think there's a little too many personality conflicts in the Mets organization right now, and I think that's why they're not winning as much as they should. You look
Yeah.
at their lineup, and they're freaking stacked, dude. They look so good on paper,
They
but
do. They do.
when it comes down to it, there's a lot of guys that just aren't performing as well as they should be.
They're in
Mm.
first place. The Mets are in first place, but
But it's
you're
in the
saying
East.
that. But Josh Donaldson got injured today, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think he
did.
was running. He was going into second base, and he started limping. And I'm like, oh, there he goes, talking all that crap when he crossed home plate after hitting the home run off of Giolito. He was saying this ball's not sticky anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess Giolito came out and said, let's go take it out in the parking lot. Don't talk behind my back. So they're being divas out there, which is cool. They're going back and forward. You want to have that central.
But see, and then it kind of shows that Giolito's getting mad because he knows it's true. You know, like if what Donaldson was saying, like if it wasn't true, or if it only had like half truths or whatever, then Giolito shouldn't be so upset. But him getting so upset and showing that on TV and in interviews, like it kind of shows you that Donaldson's getting under his skin. So Donaldson must be right about something.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. But it's just the way that he said it, and I think that he take exception to it. And then you have Ozzie Guillen going on. I guess he was on Fox or a baseball channel or a morning channel. I don't know where he was at, but he said that he had 3 rings. I only counted 2, and you were a third base coach in one of them. So, come on, dude. It's like, come on, man. You can't go and say you have 3 rings and you only have 2 to show for. And one of them, you were a third base coach, and you're talking about Donaldson. Yeah, Donaldson's making money. He's doing his thing. And if he gets traded to the Mets, it could help him. But that personality thing that you just talked about, Will, for me, I think the Mets will do wrong if they go ahead and get Donaldson. That personality already has like bad juju out there, man.
Yeah.
And I think they need someone where it's like lighthearted, someone that's going to build the team together.
Someone that's going to make the game fun.
Exactly. And
let-
Donaldson's not a good fit, but there's talks. And if it's happening, I think it's going to suck for the Mets, or maybe not. We're fans. We're just talking about it, but it's what do you call it? It's what we're seeing, right? We're seeing personalities, and why not talk about it? But if he does go out to the Mets, do you think those little injuries or aches and stuff like that, because he's going to go to a first place team, you think he would play through those injuries? I think he will.
To a certain extent. Yeah, because especially when it gets towards like the end of the season, to make sure they clinch that playoff spot, and if they actually do win the division and go to the playoffs. That's what you do, man. Look at Cody Bellinger. He dislocated his shoulder after hitting a home run in the World Series last year, and he was back in the game the next day. And that's what you have to do, man. You play through the pain. And then he ended up having surgery in the off season, and that shows you, like, that's the heart of a champion right there. So guys like Donaldson that are constantly getting hurt, if it's aches and pains, you got to man up and just deal with it after the season's over, after you have that ring to look at every day, after you have that trophy to look at every day. Then you can be like, this pain is worth it,
Yeah. Hey, I'm just seeing Jasper says Giolito can scrap though too, so I would like to see a fight between Donaldson and Giolito.
That's not gonna happen. Then they both get suspended.
Yeah, even for bench clearing, and this is bringing me to that next point where, I'm gonna show you the video, and this is kind of like where I'm kind of iffy on. He gets hit on the first pitch, and we're talking about Acuna Jr., of course. He got hit on the first pitch of the game. The Marlins has hit him 6 times this season. This is his 7th, so I believe it's his 7th. And sphincter is am I saying his
Sphincter.
yeah, I don't know, snicker, I don't know, not snicker, snicker, I don't know what his last name is. But he took exception to it and he's like, come on, man, you're hitting my player like a lot of times already. Like, it's not fair. So that was the first pitch of the game. It could have slipped off. It could have happened like to where it was like, hey, um, I can't have my guy getting hit all the time. They tossed him out of the game.
Yeah.
Very first pitch. So what you're saying is what the umps are doing is they're kicking this guy out in the first pitch and say, you can't pitch inside on this guy. Are you kidding me? Like I looked at the video and I don't know. It's yeah, he's been getting hit a lot of times, but at the same time, it's like you can't kick him out in the first inning, in the first pitch. Like, why? Why are you doing that? Um, do you think the umpires are a little bit sensitive on this issue?
I don't think they had like any like a personal vendetta or anything. So I don't really think sensitivity has anything to do with it. I think it's more just to show the managers and the players like we're in control. Um, if we see something that looks a little shady to us, we're gonna take control and make the call that we think is in the best interest of both teams. And
Yeah.
what you're saying about hitting Acuna from the Marlins. I remember when Jose Urena was on the Marlins, and he hit Acuna. I think it was in the first at bat of the game. Also, Acuna was leading off that day, and it's because Acuna had hit like 6 or 7 home runs in the last like 10 games before that. And it seems like the Marlins just have always had a problem with Acuna. I don't know if Acuna kind of like off screen kind of has like a little mouth where he just kind of chirps at them and maybe they get upset. So they throw the ball. I don't know. There has to be a reason why the Marlins keep on throwing at one of the top players in baseball, and
Okay. I don't mean to cut you off, but when I see a player, when he gets hit and he turns away and he's kind of like, I'm tired of this. I'm a big player. I'm this, I'm that. He celebrates every hit he gets. There's nothing wrong with that. But the other team has, they're looking at that. They're looking at him celebrate. They're looking at him do little dances on the bases. And then when he gets hit, he's just like, oh, it hurts. It hurts. Like, and then he goes on this on me on the what is it, the post game? He says, like, I'm tired of getting hit. Why are they pitching in on me? They should pitch outside. Because he said that they should pitch outside. Like, what? No, they should pitch inside. They should pitch outside whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
And if it hits you, then guess what? Step off of the plate. Don't just stand over it. I was looking at his at bat today, and he's not stepping all over the plate. He's a little behind. And yeah, that pitch was a little in, and it got him, of course. But 96-mile-per-hour fastball coming at you, it's kind of hard to move away. But don't react that way either. Don't be one of those guys that are looking at that pitch gets hit and they're like, oh, I'm tired of getting hit. Like, man, are you serious? Take it, go to first base, and yeah, say something about it. I guess they're scared of me or something. They don't want to pitch to me. Take a different approach to it. Like I feel that's a better reaction than what he's doing now. He's just saying that, oh, no one should pitch close to me or whatever. Like, why is everybody pitching inside? Why? Because you're destroying the league, dude. If you pitch it over the plate or outside, guess what? You're gonna hit it out. So they're pitching in, so you won't catch up to that fastball. So I don't know.
Pitching inside is fine, but that pitch
He is getting hit. Yeah.
That pitch was a little too inside. I mean, not even a little too inside.
Well, it hit him.
Like, there was no way that Acuna could have moved out of the way. Even if he tried to like back up or whatever, it would have hit him. There's almost no way that he could have got out the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on the very first pitch, which was a fastball, it kind of seemed like it was intentional.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I don't know if it's Mattingly. I don't know if it's, the pitching coach, or if it's just the players themselves that, feel like they need to do that. But I mean, the Marlins got to be pretty pissed off the way that they're playing baseball. They're not playing good this season. Oh,
they're not. Hey, we reached the point where we got to the end of the show, but we got two more topics to talk about, and there's pitchers and hitters. Who's available out there, Will, and who are you suggesting to pick up for everybody that's watching so far? And they stick around this far, why not give the pitchers and hitters that are out there for them?
Pitchers to pick up or to trade for?
Let's go ahead and talk about trades and pick up. Like I know trades is something where you said you can trade a bunch of pitchers, right? So why not? Let's talk about trades then.
Well, we were going to talk about trades in a different show, right? Like right before the All-Star break. Did you want to just save it for there? Or do you want to just?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do that because it is the deadline. So why not talk about it then? So let's talk about pickup. Yeah, someone that you can pick up that's out there, and let's do a pitcher and a hitter. Why not?
Right,
Since
so-
Tony's not here, Tony, you can go ahead and message us on the chat and give us your number, your two picks for a pitcher and hitter.
So there's one hitter that I own actually in 3 of my leagues, and for some reason, dude, he's not widely owned. He's 55.1% owned in ESPN and 56 in Yahoo. He's eligible at second and third base in both leagues, dude, in ESPN and Yahoo. And he's playing really good baseball, dude. He's 268 average on the season, but in the last few weeks, he's been climbing up. He has like a 3-something average in the last month. And this is Jonathan India. He's leading off for the Reds every day, whether it's righty lefty, it doesn't matter. This guy gets on base a lot, gets a decent amount of hits. He doesn't really have much power, but he does have some speed. So you'll get some stolen bases from him too. So 268 batting average. In his last 6 games, he has 5 hits. So he's a really good option right now, especially because there's not really much out there. This is a guy that you could have, that you could add to your team right now and probably ride him out throughout the rest of the season. Nice. If the Reds are investing enough in him to bat him lead off every single game, he's scoring a lot of runs, dude. He has in his last 6 games, he has six runs scored. And that's on a team like the Reds that don't really score that many runs. But when you think about it, you have Castellanos and you have Jesse Winker hitting behind this guy. So if this guy gets on base, more than likely he's going to score that run.
And his on base percentage is 380. So
that's
just
amazing.
That's amazing. Exactly. So you have Winker, and who'd you say who else is batting behind him?
Castellanos.
Oh yeah. So he's going to score runs. So he's going to give you points, and even for categories, right? Will, this is a good guy for categories.
Yeah, he's going to score a lot of runs for you. So I mean, in categories, you not every single one of your batters is going to be the powerhouse where they're going to hit 40 home runs in the season, and that's great if you have those guys available, like a Nelson Cruz or Bellinger, what we thought Bellinger was going to be before injuries. But you also need those guys that have high batting average, high on base percentage, and especially a leadoff batter that's going to score a lot of runs. So I feel like he's very similar to like a Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor gets on base a lot, gets a good amount of hits, scores a lot of runs. The difference being that India is at the top of the lineup, and Chris Taylor, he kind of goes from the top to the middle, depending on if it's righty or lefty. He bats closer to the top of the order against lefties, and then against righties, they usually put him down in like 6. So I really like Jonathan India, dude. I think that this is a really good pickup in any league, any format. He's going to get you a lot of points, a lot of multi-hit games, and in a categories league, he's going to get you a lot of runs and a few stolen bases to add to that.
Exactly. He has 7 on the year. And let me give you the percentage again. Is on Yahoo is 55%, on ESPN is 54%. So if you have that chance to pick him up, why not? Give me your pitcher, man. Give me a pitcher that you can ride and pick up right now. And of course, we're going to talk about trades in another show, whatever. It could be either via trade, or it could be a guy that's a free agent out there.
One guy that I see that has been dropped throughout the league. He's down 5% in Yahoo.
Mhm.
So he's still owned 82% everywhere. He just got hurt. So a good player to stash right now is Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen's the ace of the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are a really bad team, but he is their best starting pitcher. So if you have an IL slot available, if someone dropped him, I would even use a waiver on this type of player, because when the playoffs start, if he's healthy and he's pitching well, that's gonna just advance you into the next round. He's a really good option when there are no other options really out there. So yeah, keep an eye out for Zach Gallen. He's
How long is he
even
going to
worth,
be out for?
It says a hamstring. So depending on how bad the strain is on the hamstring, he does have a strain, but we do have the All-Star break coming up, so he's going to have at least the next 2 weeks off. So hopefully he can come back by then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Will, before you continue, and it's something that I noticed when we talk, and it's not just us, it's any baseball analyst, or you look at ESPN, you look at MLB, the word hopefully comes out a lot. And I wonder how many people out there listening to people say the word hopefully. Are they making a drinking game out of it? Because dude, I've caught myself saying that. I heard you say it, Tony say it, but it's not just us. It's every baseball person that's talking about making the news, or getting their podcast, or doing all that stuff. That word hopefully is like huge, man. It's really huge. So if you're out there and you're drinking, that word hopefully, every time we say hopefully, I hope you're drinking. It's a drinking game for you guys, so you guys can stay with us and have fun. So Zach Gallen, you're saying Zach Gallen is going to be one of those guys that you can go ahead and stash. And it's a good idea to do. I know you're big on him. You've talked about him before the season started, even throughout the season, when we said that he had a little bit of pain on his elbow, and he came back and he did it. I think he broke his left arm when he was hitting, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Fracture
So
in his forearm.
yeah, so he came back, and yeah, it's not a bad pick. Thanks, Will. That's a really good thing for fantasy owners out there. And yeah, we came to the end of the show.
Well, let me give one more, just in case Zach Gallen is not available, because he is pretty widely owned.
Yeah, go for it.
Another pitcher that I really like, that I actually dropped him in one league, and I went ahead and picked him back up again. I think I made a mistake, and I was lucky enough to get him back. And let me pull up his stats real quick, just so
I know Tony's gonna be like, "No, Will is cheating. That's why he picked him back."
It's Jake Odorizzi. Jake Odorizzi. He's on the Astros, formerly from the Twins. He has a 4.08 ERA, 38 strikeouts. So he hasn't really been pitching a lot this season. But if you look at his last 5 performances, he's looking really good, man. He has 3 out of the last 5. He only went 5 innings, and 1 of the last 5 he went 4 innings. But it seems like he had 19 points, 13 points, 28 points, 15 points, and then 18 points. So that's a really good option right there. Also, he's 57.5% owned in Yahoo, and I'm sorry, in ESPN. And in Yahoo, he's owned 56%.
So we talked about Odorizzi in the last show. He was one of the guys that got picked up a lot. I don't know if it was because he was a 2-start pitcher, but you just said he's pitching for the Astros. So he's pitching for a good ball club. Why not pick him up? If he's only 55% owned, you might want to take a little bit of a risk. I don't know if it's a risk or how many innings has he pitched though? Has he gone a full 5, or is it he's still on the limits? Because I think he came back from, was it a arm injury?
Yeah, he has 35 innings pitched total this season.
Yeah.
So he's just come back pretty recently but his last 5 outings, dude, once he gets stretched out completely and he can go 6 solid pretty much every outing, he's
Mhm.
going to be a great asset to have.
Yeah. And like you say, you heard Will say, he said 55%. Oh man. I know we won't find them on ours. I know, Will, I think you have them, right?
I have him
So
in Hobbies League. I don't
yeah,
have him in our podcast league.
yeah, I kind of figured we're not gonna see him in that. Playing see, man, I don't want to play fantasy baseball with you guys. Can I find an easy one so I can win easy money? Like that's not good. I don't want to break my head and trying to find players.
Well, the problem is the easy leagues are usually only about $20 to get in. So even if you do win some money, you're only going to win what, $80?
That's true, because you have to put in 20. Yeah. Well, that was the last take. If there's any questions for you guys to ask us, go ahead and do it now or forever hold your peace. I know we only have a few little minutes here, and yeah, dude, it's been a tough week. It's been a week where, as Dodger fans, we're looking at the Trevor Bauer situation, and every MLB fan is looking at it and they're saying, "Oh well, forget him." I know the Mets, the coach came out saying that they're lucky that they signed Taijuan Walker instead of they signing Bauer, which is Taijuan Walker is pitching pretty good right now.
Yeah.
So why not, right? And the Dodgers don't have Trevor Bauer, which they signed him for a bigger contract. And yeah, it's a huge contract. Yeah, it that's where we are as fans. That's where we are as fantasy owners. And yeah, man, Will, like, do you think Taijuan Walker is gonna pitch that good into August? What is it? July, August, and September? Or do
Yeah.
you think it's
I,
one?
I
Yeah.
think that he has the experience. He was a top fantasy option a few years ago. Had some
Yeah.
injuries. I don't think he played at all last season. And now he's back and he looks like the guy that we all drafted 5 years ago. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you got him, if you don't trust him during the playoffs, you can always use him as trade bait. You know, Tony loves
Trade
that word.
bait. Yeah. Trade bait.
Um,
Tony doesn't like that I use trade bait, but that's what it is. It's really
yeah,
trade bait.
that's what
Yeah.
I say.
All right, guys, we came to the end of the show. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sticking around. If anything pops up, go ahead and find us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We do have a website, not a website. We do have a email, which is realtalkbaseball@yahoo.com. I know Will has been answering a lot of questions on Instagram, but we are all available on any platform that I just mentioned. We are not on Facebook because Facebook kicked us out. They're being a little bit booty, but whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, we're trying to get to the form where we're either answering questions here or our email. But whatever platform you decide to use, go ahead and do it. And we'll get back to you as soon as we can. There's 3 of us. There's Will, there's myself, and there's Tony Snap. And remember, Will and Tony Snap are the guys that actually know more about fantasy baseball. I know a little bit and I can answer some of them too. Why not, right? Yeah.
Tony's more the expert in the
trade.
points leagues, and I'm more the categories guy.
Yeah,
So,
and that's what I was about to say. Yeah. These guys know their baseball. And if you have any history baseball, I think I know a lot about baseball.
Yeah.
Back in the days.
You're the
Why
guru,
not?
man.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm Carlos Baseball. This is Will Power, Real Talk Baseball, signing out.